changed to the river, and I'm singing so loudly. You found me there trying to show off what I know. To the river, to the river. Anyway, that was very chained to the rhythm. 24 minutes after 2 p.m. You're listening to the Sports Garage Extra with me, Sami Muraya.
And me, Karaoke Thige, KT.
Right here on Radio Generation 88.8 in Nairobi, 89.5 in Garissa, and 90.7 in Mombasa. In case you want to reach out to us, you can do so via our socials on Instagram and on X. It is Radio Gen KE. And for those of you who are old school like Karaoke Thige, who are Facebookers, look for Radio Generation Kenya. Now, Thige, we have shifted focus a bit from football. Now we jump over to badminton, and not the able-bodied badminton, but para-badminton. We have a new member of the team, a gentleman called Xtra Odinga, who had an exclusive yesterday, a story that is on our website right now as we speak. And the story runs, it was hard luck for the Kenyan para-badminton national team, who finished without a medal at the ongoing 2026 Bahrain Badminton World Federation Para Badminton at the Issa Sports Complex in Rifa, Bahrain. Now, speaking exclusively, like we said, to us, the coach Eric Ngumo lamented over fatigue and poor planning, but was still adamant that his objective still remains to help athletes qualify for the upcoming Paralympic Games in Los Angeles in 2028. Now, these are some of the things that he cites, and I quote, despite the travel delays, late visa issue, nataka utake note, travel delays, late visa issue, and going straight from the airport upon landing to the court of play and starting the tournament with jet lag, my players still managed to fight and win against tough opponents from Canada and Switzerland in the first rounds of the championships. Players like Caleb Omolo, Elizabeth Nabuire, Benson Duva Mutiso, and Merinduku managed to get to the third round of the championship group, where they lost to world-seeded opponents from Japan and Indonesia in the singles. Nataka tuanzie hapo because I think it's very important for us to first look at those problems, because these are constant problems. They are problems we've spoken about a lot, and I believe this is a story that we also ran just as they were going to Bahrain, and part of the delays was because of disbursement of
money. Yep, from that same office that we've been discussing several times, and I think it's about time we spoke directly to these people from this office, because every other show that we have has to involve or has to include on the program this office, because we had it when the pool players were going to compete in South Africa in Cape Town, in Durban, sorry, and the first ladies, 4 ladies, actually had to pay their way.
They bankrolled themselves
to travel to South Africa before money was actually sent to them or funds were disbursed. And despite that, they won silver, or they came second in the team event in that African pool championships. Now we come back to Bahrain, and it's the same story. So again, the question is, these tournaments do not happen just off the blue. You know, it's calendared, and you know very well. For example, in this year, you know, next year in February this particular event will be happening.
Exactly.
So something needs to change, and it needs to change very fast in that office. Otherwise, the embarrassment continues for this country. You know what happened in the Winter Olympics? One of the athletes had to withdraw.
Yes.
Late on. Actually, when the Winter Olympics had already begun, somebody withdrew because, again, the Kenyan Federation could not, 1, refund their money, Minister of Sports could not refund their money, 2, they could not pay or support her in that particular tournament. Yeah, so it's a crazy story, and it keeps repeating itself, Maria.
Well, it's a crazy story, keeps repeating itself, and of course, we will also at some point today discuss golf a bit, because we also have a few problems that are ongoing there, but those ones at least don't involve the government, but it involves the Federation, DP World, Kenya Open Golf Limited, and this is the organization that plans for Kenya Magical Kenya Open here in Kenya. They're the ones mandated by DP World Tour. And very quickly, I also want us to touch on something else still on this story, because the coach Eric Ngumo also missed one of his key players, and the reason why I want us to discuss this, it's also critical, where you have to decide between making the bag or loyalty to your country without any sort of feeling like you're being appreciated. So he missed one of his important arsenals, the multi-talented Stensi Neema, who, despite having a fixture in Bahrain, she was supposed to play in the doubles, chose to travel to Dubai for the World Para Athletics Grand Prix, leaving her doubles partner Elizabeth Nabuire, who was available, now in limbo, hence her opponents being awarded walkovers in that category. So, Thige, do you blame Neema for choosing to feed her family over carrying a flag where she was uncertain whether she was going to travel in the first place or not?
Tell you what, Muraya, if I was that lady, Stensi Neema, I would do exactly. If I was in a position, I would do exactly.
No, najua ka Grand
What
Prix.
she did.
Anything iko na Grand Prix. You know, Grand Prix.
When you hear Grand Prix and it's athletics,
Yes.
it equals ka-ching-ching.
Ching-ching.
So now, instead you're being asked to go to Bahrain, where you're most likely, you don't even know whether you're going to have any allowances.
Yes.
You're not even sure that you're going to travel.
Exactly.
Until the very, very last minute. So how do you plan for something that you don't know is going to happen?
True.
How can I be telling you, oh, next week I'm supposed to have this fixture or this game?
But this other one, you're sure.
In Bahrain.
Because the travel arrangements are already sorted.
It's planned.
Yes.
And it's there because you're already a leading star.
Yes.
I will go where the money is. And we were discussing this thing when we were discussing the change of nationality of Kenyan athletes to other countries. And it's the same story. When you mistreat your own athletes, when you mistreat your own sportsmen, don't be surprised when they choose when they make other decisions to benefit their own lives, because their first responsibilities, and it's a story, by the way, that I'll share with you one day. Story of Divo Korigi, and the question of playing for your country, playing for Harambee Stars and instead representing Belgium. And the very first thing is, first of all, you have to remember that an individual's responsibility is to themselves
And to their family.
and to their family.
Yes.
So if you're an adult and you're a parent, or you have dependents, and the first thing is how you're going to provide for those dependents. Hii story ingine ya bendera, it's an important one, but it comes third or fourth or fifth in this case.
The Sports Garage. Extra.